Yo guys, so it's the start of a new training week, and this time my focus for this week is actually on a formerly good player. I say formerly because every time I talk about his downfall, it kind of makes me sad, and he's one of my favorite players, Eden Hazard. Now, back in his time at Chelsea and Lille, he was one of the feared people in Europe, and I'd probably argue he is definitely better than Salah. Don't want to really start a debate in the comment section, but overall, he had like good traits like dribbling, passing, speed, and so many more. And yes, we know those things, but what I'm going to be looking at is the finer or small details, his scanning, and knowing when to move and where to move. So that is one key trait he has, and unfortunately, is one of the weaknesses I have because I don't know. I've always had this both on and off the field. I can't really see the bigger picture. I don't really look at the finer details. I always am good at seeing the complex things, but I don't really find the simple things, and I usually mess up, slip up, and yeah. But with his scanning, he's able to know where to move and what space to go into. So, with that aspect of his, I'm going to try to implement it into my game to try to improve my scanning and my reaction time. Without further ado, let's hit it with the intro.
Aqui é o Brasil.
Alright guys, so this was day one, and the first thing that I did was the Sancho, advanced passing, and an introduction to a training course. Now the Sancho and advanced passing will help me, especially when it comes to scanning and looking around, and also being able to play quick, because that is one of the best traits that Eden Hazard had when watching him in tactical videos. He always was looking around. That's how I was able to turn into those spaces and make good runs. And the last thing that I'll do would be the light jog training session. That's a good form of recovery because even after intense workouts, a good recovery is also important. Now let's go to the leaderboard. Since I haven't done anything yet, I'm still not here, so that's what I'm gonna change today. Now let's go. So I start things off with a simple warm-up to just shake off my bones a bit and, kind of let loose so that I don't get an injury, and I'm prepared for the day. Honestly, training in the sunrise is quite calming. Looking at the skies, just transition from night to day, and it also kind of gives a good sense, like awakening my camera a bit so you can see me clearly from not seeing me at all, like in the early part to not seeing me clearly. And as an artist, the sky is quite beautiful. Yeah, that's why I like it. So anyways, I'm just doing some warm-ups and just to open up, like I said. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Just warming up. So yeah, back to Eden Hazard though. Honestly, he was a good player at this time at Chelsea, and probably one of my favorite players growing up. I don't know, just the way he just dribbled the ball and glided past defenders, it's kind of similar to my game style a bit. I'm not the kind of person to pull off flashy moves, but I only do effective moves that get past defender and do wells when I'm not really thinking too much. So that's what I hope to do in this Sancho drill. Even though the first few weeks are gonna be with cones, and it seems like I'm kind of restricting myself a bit, I'm just trying to set in the foundation a bit so that eventually by next week I'll start not using cones. And basically what this is going to do is kind of just structure my dribbling a bit, because that's one key mistake people make. They over rely on most of these cone drills rather than also doing freestyle as well. The point of this is just to aid and sharpen my dribbling skills. not really to emphasize like how a match is. So starting next week, I'll probably add one freestyle drill with the essential, and yeah, that's how I make it interesting and improve. And that's pretty much my aim for this week, just to establish my powerful dribbling and also created a new run. So after the warm-up stuff, I also went on to do 100 juggles. Honestly, I did fail a couple of times though. I failed twice. The first time I got about 60 and the second time was 50. So not really off to a great start, but I managed to keep on and continue. So yeah, I actually got this on a Unisports. I actually got this when I was watching Unisports. I think his name was John Williams or John Will or El John. I don't know. I can't remember. Hopefully he doesn't see this video, but yeah, I did watch a video of him emphasizing the importance of warming up and also following that up with 100 juggles. Honestly, personally to me, I think juggling is a great exercise because it helps you know the direction the ball is coming at and how to react, and also improves your ball confidence. You being confident on the ball, giving you that boost of confidence, you know? Like if you're able to do this amount of juggles, who knows how many more you can do. So it kind of gives a feel-good factor and is also a way to improve your ball control. Even though you still have to do some dribbling drills, but yeah, it's a great way to establish that, and also one of the fastest ways to improve your weak foot as well. Especially if you don't always try to favor it on that one foot, because when juggling, you also have to use both feet to go longer, weirdly enough. Not just relying on that one foot, even though I'm kind of doing it right now. But what I usually try to do at the end is to also juggle with my weak foot as well. And I only managed to get 15, so to the drills. So the first drill I did was the 90-degree cuts. And here I just did a variety of inside cut moves like the Ronaldo chop, the simple cuts, inside cuts, and the La Croqueta, and the simple 360 turn. So these are just simple moves that initially just come to me whenever I'm just trying to do an inside technique, and it's just come down to a matter of me repeating them over and over and over again. So now the goal is to actually use one of these in matches, and the only one I can for sure use is the 360 turn and La Croqueta. But in terms of this drill, I kind of started out a bit like slow and sure because I was trying to get the movement, feel the vibe, if you know what I mean. Just trying to get that feeling or trying to understand it, so I'm not really moving too fast. That will change in the future drills. And that was the end of the first one, and it took me 58 seconds, and I did a total of 6 reps. Now set 2, of course. So after seeing that one, I moved a bit faster. Still not as fast, but somewhat better than the first one. So yeah, honestly, the good thing about this drill is that, like I mentioned earlier, is that it gives me the ability to actually, it forces me, if you can say that, to actually look ahead and try to move quickly and evade the cones, just like how Eden Hazard does, just looking into those spaces and trying to move into them rather than just focusing on the obstacle ahead. That's how I view most of these cone drills. I focus more on the spaces I can enter rather than the cones, because if I focus more on the cones, I'm most likely to make a mistake. And even though I want to move faster, I need to have some level of control, then slowly increase the pace each time, and that's how I can improve my speed. And now this one took me 1 minute, and I still did the same amount of reps, so I was 2 seconds slower. The drop off is not that bad, but it's kind of a bit bad since it's still a drop off. But anyways, in this third one, I feel this was my best set because I'm moving a bit more quicker and more ferocious and more hungry, looking as if I want to take on the defenders. And for this one, I'm mostly using inside cuts because this is the move I'm 100% certain of. So kind of just goes to show that if I do the move that I'm sure of, I'll be more quicker with it. And one thing I also liked when I was doing this was that I was doing the inside cut where I was shielding the ball, then cut to the other side. That's pretty good technique. Shielding the ball when you dribble, it easily gets defenders off you, especially if you're back facing them. And yeah, that took me 57.7 seconds, so that was a good one. Now the next thing that I did was the 45 and 90 degree cut. So rather than just using the inside of my foot, I'm kind of forced to use both the inside and outside. Now this was really tricky, especially trying to figure out what exactly to do. But over time I kind of got used to it, and yeah, I probably say this one, especially moving to the next cone. So in that transition there, I kind of aimed at speeding up or changing pace, and yeah, so the drill took me 1 minute and 12 seconds for the first one and total of 8 reps. Now the thing when I was doing this is that I'm trying to set the amount of reps, but I wasn't really thinking about that. I just kept on going. And it's kind of a good habit to have, like not really counting the amount of reps you still have left in your head, but just going and focusing on completing the drills. And one thing that I did like what I did here was in the transition, oh, I knocked the cone down there, was that in the transition, around moving to the next cone, I had a quick change of pace. I don't think I intended to do that, but yeah, it was great. Couldn't really keep it up for long, but that's one thing I'm gonna add. And like I said, I did more reps, 12 reps, and that took me a few seconds less, like 1 minute and 22 seconds, 10 seconds more. So kind of shows how fast I am at doing this. So with that in mind, I'm just gonna add that. The next drill that I did was 90 degrees and 80 degrees cut inside. Now this one was more easier. It was kind of more dizzy, honestly, because I felt like I was going round and round and round, and almost felt like throwing up, honestly. So the first one was 5 minutes, and it took me 1 minute and 19 seconds to be precise. So yeah, that was a good one. So I continued at that pace, as per usual. And again, one thing I can improve on is my change in speed, because that really makes a difference in dribbling. Because I notice when I'm doing these cone drills, I'm kind of moving at the same pace. There has to be a change in pace when I'm doing this, so that's one thing I'm gonna add into my journal. Have that change of pace. And even when I show this on soccer group chats with a couple of coaches, one of them advised me to try to have a good change in pace, or have a change in pace, because that's quite essential in dribbling. 1 minute you're slow, then next minute, boom, you're past the defender, then you can decrease speed again. Just be unpredictable. And that took me 7 reps, and that was 1 minute and 51 seconds. So looking back now, I think I need to have a set amount of reps that I do, because as much as not really thinking about the reps that I do is important, I still need to have a set amount that I do for having sake, and so that it can be more easier for me to measure and see where to improve on, because I am my own trainer for most of this. Don't really have a trainer analyst. The only best bet I have is the group chat I'm in that fortunately has a soccer coach, and yeah, that's roughly about it. I can probably just show him a couple of videos, but yeah, for most of this I am my own trainer. So yeah, for most of these, so a lot of you might be asking, when am I gonna play a match? That will eventually come. I still need to get a GoPro camera for that. So plus I'm still kind of working on my driving, so that eventually I'll be able to drive and show you guys some matches, and not just me training every day. But the training video or the training portion is kind of like to show or to kind of show my transformation and how I juggle my school life with, soccer. Even though it might not seem fun, it will still be a bit entertaining, and I'll find ways to make it more entertaining for you guys as well. But at the same time, also not try to deviate from this, because this is me trying to make it to the higher leagues, and that took me 7 reps with less time, 1 minute and 47 seconds. Now, I think I have something to say. Alright guys, so just completed the Jadon Sancho training. Now I'm going on to the advanced passing. Honestly, the Sancho training was a good training because it forced me to have to actually scan, look around, know which cone to be at, to move more quicker. So yeah, I really like this drill. So I'm going to record my time for this week because I'm going to do it again.
Well done.
Ignore that. Because I'm going to do it again throughout the week. So I'll be recording each of my times to see how fast I improved. And the faster I get, the more sets I add. So because I want to bring out the best of myself and not just do drills for doing that, because I'll be a bit robotic. It's just about building upon those drills and doing more and more and more, and seeing new areas to improve on, and also showing it to some people in the soccer group chats so that they can also give their inputs, because that's the best outside source I got, not really a professional coach or personal coach, which is another key thing that I need. But anyways guys, time to move on to the advanced passing drill. Alright guys, so this is the advanced passing session, and I start things off with the classic 2-touch passing. Now everyone has heard of this drill 1,000 times, 2-touch passing, 1-touch passing. So even though it's simple and kind of boring to most of you, oh dude, why don't you work on 1-touch, why don't you do the El Rondo? Now 2-touch passing, even though it's basic, it's still important, because as Muller once said, or Alphonso Davies, he kind of respected players like Muller because he's able to play that quick 2-touch and 1-touch passing, and that's good to get away from the defenders. Not really the skills, not really or always the skills, the flares, the dribbling. It's being able to minimize your touch on the ball, but it has a lot of good intentions and purposes. So that's why I'm working on that 2-touch passing. And overall, in terms of soccer, passing is my biggest and best traits. So yeah, so after doing the 2-touch passing, I'm now doing an advanced version, a 2-touch pass, but I take it to the other side. And this is what I noticed in some videos of Eden Hazard, or in the technical videos I watched. He always looked into the space, or he looked to the space around the defender. So his first move was to fool the defender into where it was going, then make that quick turn. Now that deceit could be like a back pass, then making the run, making the defender a bit unsuspicious or so. Even though they might grab on, it might be too late. So that's what I hope to do. Making those runs into space with a simple turn and a pass. So yeah, that's the point of this. So, yeah. And after doing that is now the challenging version you guys wanted, the 1-touch passing. Now this passing is really challenging, and if you master it, I only say you're done, or you're really good, man. It's one of the hardest skills to do 1-touch passing, especially like when it comes in at full force. But essentially what I'm doing here is I try to follow or get close to the ball, or open up to the position to where the ball is. That's what I'm striving for. I don't know, maybe it's my art class or so, as my teacher kind of teaches all of us to think simply. Instead of like drawing the whole bed, just focus on the shapes and you slowly build a bed. That's kind of what I apply here. So after I make the pass, I just try to be more open rather than just rushing to get a pass back. So I ask myself this in my head really fast. Okay, am I open? Am I in a good shape to receive the pass? Then and also try to get closer to estimate how heavy the pass is. So this last set I drilled was kind of like a challenge or so. 1 minute, 3 sets, how much I keep the ball in there. And I already failed twice. I couldn't keep the ball, so I continue. So looking back, so I don't know how much I did, but I missed the ball twice. So essentially what I did is that I created a set of cones around, and I tried to keep the ball inside with my high touch passing. And yeah, each time the ball goes out, I have to recount again, just like now, and redo a streak. So after I'm done doing the voiceovers, I'll go recount it and see how many I actually got in each round. So yeah, this is actually great for improving my first touching technical skills. So the first set's not too pretty, but in the second set, I actually use my brain. And you will see why I actually said that. So in this one, 1 minute again. So I do something that I never even thought of doing in the first set. So the first one, I'm just maintaining the ball. So far so good. And did you see that? I'll show you again. Okay, I didn't do it there. Sorry about that. Okay, here we go again. I play the ball in. It's going out. No, still in. Just keeping it in. Just all of you are probably saying, what is this brother talking about? Okay, here it is. The ball goes out, and I actually run to the position where the ball is going out to. Yes. Sometimes you just gotta think it. You just gotta think outside the box, because I was so focused on trying to maintain the ball that I didn't even think about what I've been training for all this time, learning where the direction of the ball is actually moving there. So that just kind of clicks. It's always the small details. It's always the small, simple details that really kind of annoys me. But anyways, those were the sets I did, and the last thing I did was a nice cool down session, because as much as I exert myself or overexert myself, I also need to cool down and rest to prevent injuries, because no matter how much you train, you need to have a good recovery afterwards. That could be doing cool down, doing stretches, and just recuperating for another day, because recovery is key to build up those muscles so you can be prepared for the next training session or match. So yeah, basically that's the point of all this. Anyways guys, that is all for the Sancho training session. What I learned was that I need to improve my pace when I dribble, not just always maintaining that one pace when dribbling, because the defenders will easily get the ball away from me if I don't have that change in speed. And overall, it was a good workout session today. And the advanced passing, always scanning, looking around, playing the pass, and also having a good first touch. But anyways guys, I'll see you later. Alright guys, so after that training session, I'm second place currently with 3,504 points from doing the Sancho and advanced passing workout. So the rest I need to do is the introduction to strength course and the light jogs. And so far I managed to get 91 minutes of training. That's the whole match plus additional time. So you can say I played the whole match. But only in training though, because like for those 90 minutes, it's like what, 18 hours of training. So for 90 minutes is worth nearly a week's amount of training for that one moment. That's something interesting to think about. Anyways, to breakfast. Yo guys, so I'm in the cafeteria right now, about to eat breakfast, and this is what I got. Hash browns, some peaches, and yogurt, and a cup of water.
Although that kind of seems like a lot, I kind of need to regain a lot of calories since I lost a lot, so kind of eating to regain those calories. Plus, the only thing I probably see I have a bit unhealthier is the waffle, but the rest I think they're alright. So, yeah, pretty long meal, but I also want to kind of gain some weight and build some muscle a bit, so that's why I'm kind of eating much. Anyways, guys, so I'll meet you back in my door. Yo, what's good, guys? This is Cam, and I'm back again with another video. And this time, I'm just gonna go do my light jog session after a really long day of class and everything. I'm pleased with how my training has gone today. I was able to wake up early, get things done, and able to go to class on time without really trying to rush or anything. So that's great. But the area I probably think I kind of need to improve on is how I use my free time, because I usually spend it a lot on my phone, and it leads me to do my homeworks a bit much later. I still turn in my homework on time. I turn in all of them on time, but I'm really trying to increase the amount of rest days I have by doing most of my homework a bit earlier rather than trying to submit them a day or two before the deadline. So I want to get them done sooner so that I can have enough time to rest, edit videos, and do other things, and not solely focus each week on trying to get done my homework. But aside from that, it was a good day today. So just gonna go for the slide jog, and I'm gonna go on the bicycle trail, which is right over there. And I will not stop until I reach the first stops, or until I reach the stop sign after the one right there. I'm not gonna stop until I see another stop sign. So wish me luck. And I'll be recording some part of the trail on the journey, so this should be interesting. Let's go. Alright guys, so this is the first lap that I just completed. And every lap is every 5 minutes, so far I'm not feeling tired. I would be really worried if I was. But anyways, I've made it through, almost made it through the forest into the, I guess, non-foresty part, if you can call it that. I don't know what to call it, man, but kind of heading out of the woods a bit. So yeah, the rest of these areas are mostly like farmland that kind of belongs to my college or something. So yeah, almost there. A few more steps and I'm out of the forest. Okay, here we go. Push. Okay, here we go. Almost there. Almost there. And I'm out. Yes. So I'm out of the forest right now. So, well, almost. So yeah, just a few more laps to go, and we'll see. Alright guys, so I've reached lap 2 and I'm almost at my destination. Weirdly enough, wasn't really that far, but I'm also gonna be jogging back, so that'll make up for most of the minutes. But anyways, it's just a few miles ahead. You probably can't see it, but I can. So I'm almost at the stop sign. But here's the water tower though. No reason for me just showing you guys, but except for the fact that it kind of looks cool. But anyway, back on the trail. So, so far, again, I'm not really that tired. I'll be really surprised if I was. It's kind of like a light jog session for me to recover a bit and not feel sore by the next day. So I'm not really doing like a change in pace, even though I'll probably do that tomorrow, then cool down with a light jog. That'll be a great way to improve my stamina and recovery. So and if I want to do that, gotta wake up more early, or gotta wake up early and complete my drills at least between some time before classes or something. But anyways, guys, almost at the stop sign. I'll probably take a selfie when I get there. So the next frame you'll probably see is me taking the selfie with the stop sign. So yeah, almost there. Good view, and voila. Alright guys, so the trail I just walked on was the Lewis Trail. Yeah. So it's kind of dedicated to a doctor, so she's the reason why they kind of made this trail. And it actually leads to Springfield. So that's a pretty long bike ride. So if I do get a GoPro, I would probably be doing like daily biking videos or something. I don't know, a couple of new things I want to add to the channel, so that doesn't just seem like I'm the football guy. Even though I technically, well, that's kind of what this channel is about. But I'll also be interested to add elements like cycling, showing you guys a couple of good sceneries. So I'll probably be saving up to get a GoPro, and I'll probably prefer the one that has a headgear so that I can also show you guys like me playing in matches. It'll be easier to record from my perspective at least, and also something more entertaining for you guys as well. So anyways, need to get back to my dorm because I can't really just say call it a day, lie down here and say this is my new home. Still gotta go back home, well, at least to my dorm, because if I want to go home, that's a whole drive away. And to get to my other home, it's literally an ocean away from here. So yeah. So yeah, guys, that was the end of the live jog session. At least now I am going back to the dorm, or to the cafeteria, because I am really hungry. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this, and well, technically that's not really all, so stay tuned at least.